What up, folks? Let's go ahead and get started this morning. Welcome to the Gauntlet. We're going to run through a few things, an introduction to what we do here, right? Promote the truth. Top shelf technical analysis by way of TPC, the GOATs. The 10-year yield is the cost to borrow US dollars, right? That's what it is. That's what I had to learn over time. I wasn't taught this in the beginning because they didn't know what the hell they were talking about. So 10-year yield along with the Japanese 10-year yield, right? US 10-year yield, Japanese 10-year yield. The higher it is, the higher the cost to borrow that currency. The lower it is, the cheaper it is to borrow that currency. If we're going into quantitative easing, which means we're cutting interest rates and printing money, well, we need that 10-year yield to get from 4% down to 2%. And that's what the Fed says. Well, our goal is to get to 2%. Well, get your ass down there because we're waiting on you, all right? The Japanese 10-year is going up. It was below zero for 20 years. And then within the last 3 years, it got above zero and it started heading to 2%, right? So now it's at 2%. Okay. Now the U.S. has to get down to 2% as the Japanese gets up to 2%. And they meet right there. It's just what's happening. All I can tell you is what the chart says because you need to do what the chart says, right? Hence, the gauntlet. We got to go and find out what the chart says. And then you can do your trades and investing accordingly, right? The dollar, the DXY, the Dixie as we call it, is the value of the dollar versus the rest of the world's currencies. You see it's around 100, right? Most people say, oh, a dollar's worth a dollar. Well, this is the value of the dollar. And as you can see, it came down from a high point because it's losing value, right? Now you get to see what does it actually mean. Well, I'm telling you and showing you what the names are so you can type them in. You can type it into Google. You can type it into TradingView, and then your chart will come up and you can track it yourself and you don't have to let nobody lie to you about your money, right? So that's why we do this. I have to point you in the right direction. I have to say it for you until you're able to say it. Then you can take it and save yourself and your family. We'll move on to the VIX, the volatility index, the VIX. When the VIX spikes, the market drops. When the VIX drops, the market spikes. You see it starting to head down. Ray Charles don't have to tell you that a caveman can do this, right? I'm just going to keep showing it to you because I do this every week. It's the gauntlet. We do this before market open. I did it a little early this morning before the group starts to get animated, right? Everybody's talking to the left and to the right. Activity, because we promote to be active. So let's get to the fear and greed index for the stock market and the fear and greed index for the crypto market. That's the gauntlet. You want to be in extreme fear, then that means you buy. Most people, when it's extreme fear, they're selling their shares because the market makers are pushing you out through volatility and capitulation. And you fall for it every time because you're part of the 98%, the losers. You need to become the 2%, the winners. You have to change your mind, right? And down there, the crypto fear and greed, about 2 weeks ago, we got to extreme fear in the stock market and in the crypto market. And now it's not an extreme fear, but people are like, oh, it's going to zero. No. You have to follow what the charts say for the people, not the prophets, right?